Greetings, I am Lars.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yes.
Let's feel for Sayori together.
Yes. Poor baby.
All right. I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I suppose, except that I'm not insecure about myself, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think I'm just sort of saying this for your benefit, so that, you don't feel as bad, because I'm nice like that.
Because you're more annoying when you feel worse.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just sort of an experience. Ugh.
Don't be mean.
I read you. I know what you said in behind-the-scenes stuff.
I heard you behind the microphone. You're so mean.
And you still want to know me.
Yeah. Well, we've been friends forever. So of course we're friends because we've been friends. I still tried my best.
Oh my god, you're like a cinnamon roll experience. Too soft, too pure, too good for this world. Ew. Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. I meant to say it was an awful poem.
I meant to say it was barely a poem at all.
I mean to say that I might not know what poetry is, but you have definitely hit on some sort of level of bullshittery that I cannot explain.
Sort of strange word vomit, yeah.
I mean,
could have been written by a bot, but the bot would have done better.
It came out nice.
Oh.
Or, how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Disorganized and a mess and in need of a great amount of help and a real trash fire.
Such a fucking burn. Anyway,
that's amazing. Really? You mean the way you just described me when you really shoved yourself into my space and you tried to forcibly rearrange my clothing and told me that everything about me was wrong and bad? It sounds just like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
It does. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you were late for school.
Your priorities are all out of order, just like the poems.
Right! So order of operations, Sayori has none. Hooray!
It's bad to skip breakfast. You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry.
Hey.
Yes!
Oh my god, so good!
Sayori the Hulk. Turns into a giant monster when she's hungry. But I'm just trying to self-care so I don't destroy the school again. Or when I accidentally killed my parents, which is why my parents don't live at my house anymore, which is why I work those 3 jobs. But I don't like to admit that it was me who killed them because it was really just, my hungry Sona that killed them. And so...
Oh my god, you bastard. We're gonna get into this, aren't we? Oh, okay.
I just get all cranky,
Well, you know what my chin Sona thinks of this.
Oh my god.
Well, I guess there is no point in arguing. You are a mess.
You're not getting any better, so we don't need to have this conversation.
And also, I cannot believe you're such a dramatic hoe. It's just a little murder. What's wrong with that? Anyway, thanks for showing me. I'm going to leave now. Do not say anything. I need to pass go. I need to go collect $200. It is important that I walk away from you. Shit, I said stop. No.
This was so much fun.
No, it wasn't.
So I will just keep talking to you. We should all do poetry again because Monica is the best.
Bestica. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just slay me.
But next time I won't forget. In fact, maybe what will happen is I will just write a poem while I'm in club for whenever the next assignment for club is, and then I can just show it then. But that sounds really organized too. Maybe I'll just rewrite this one next time, and then it will be better.
Great.
And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
If Monica ever does this again, I swear to God, I am going to put jam in her hair. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. You hear me, Monica? Do not let this ever happen again.
Turns head towards Monica.
Creed.
I guess I look forward to it.
Murder! I love looking forward to murder. Who should I show my poem to next? Well, first of all, I'm going to have to pull a mouse onto my screen in order to do anything because you guys don't like my keys.
It's
so,
true.
Natsuki or Yuri?
All right, it's all you, Splat. Who would be the next one?
I don't even care. Natsuki's really annoying, and Yuri is like, they're all annoying? Why do I just not have this? None. They're all annoying.
None, they're all annoying. Okay, how about both at once so we can get it
Move
out of
that
the way
way.
faster?
Yay! Oh my god, fine. Let's just go talk to Yuri.
Let's go talk to Yuri.
Yuri,
At least Yuri has a name I'm familiar with topically.
Oh yeah, I totally love that stuff.
I
It's
love
real good.
Yuri. It's amazing.
That's
I mean, not you, but you know, Yuri.
Yuri.
Oh.
That's like my favorite. Yuri stares at the poem. And I recognize that she is having an experience, and I know what it's like because it's me.
I had that experience while I was writing it.
No, actually, I had that experience when I looked into a mirror.
Oh, it's so
It's
good.
just me.
And then I tried to put it down in my
Words.
poem.
I put it down into words, and then I just realized I was watching TV, and so that's where all the anime phrases came from. It's really good, though. A minute passes more than enough time for her to finish reading.
Her just staring at the paper. Staring at the paper.
I can't read it.
Staring at the paper. I'm not familiar with your handwriting, and so sorry. I forgot to start speaking. You have to do that when you're having a conversation. You can't just think your feelings, you know, like they can in some stories.
It's fine. Please. Don't force yourself. This is what I wanted. I wanted to see the despair just slowly crawl onto your face and know that you will never be able to contemplate or understand me.
And also that you will never speak ever again because you'll be too awkward about it and then I never have to listen.
Yes! Oh my god.
I'd be so
Other me,
beautiful.
I love you. Other me, would you like to go out in the back?
Other me, oh, you should totally do it yourself. You're amazing at it.
Ow.
Sorry.
That hurt.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words, which is literally how I should be speaking, means, and works. And so when I say I should have started speaking, what I mean is I should have put my thoughts into audible words, which I didn't do. I just kept them in my head. And, you know, hold on, okay? Just hold on. Okay?
Whoa, this isn't a fair.
This is your... She waits 5 whole minutes in silence. Just there's 5 minutes of silence there while they both do idle actions. And everyone else in the class just kind of like...
I'm gonna just, like, contemplate a fly on the wall and maybe decide to stare into the pit, and then I will fall asleep. It'll be good.
I can fall asleep standing. I think I can do that. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah.
Except for that one that I said out loud in class.
Like,
that was my first.
That was my first verse, but the thing is that I didn't write that one. So you are correct by mere semantics. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it, and I was going to be really devastated if, you know, you'd practiced a lot and put a lot of work into this and had many iterations, or had written poems for a long time and had felt that this was, you know, one of your best works so far and really had seen your own progress. And I just was trying to make sure that it wasn't, that I could call it bad because it's your first, so it's okay.
Right. So it's that bad. Well, at least you were honest, like, unlike some people I know.
Or just going, oh, well, at least, you know, it's that bad for you because, you know, you don't get me.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's fine. Is this confirmation that you are not on my level?
Pretty much.
No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Wow, you're a really awkward girl. I do not know what to do with you. I feel like I should go get you a tequila. Like, maybe we'll just, like, lighten up a little?
Just a side.
Or just a bit?
A smidge.
Maybe I could go get you something. I know, I could go get you some weed.
We need to disinhibit you, girl.
Yeah, like, completely. Not depress you, but disinhibit you. I'm
like,
going to
still...
sneeze again, and I don't like it. Oh my god, the smoke is freaking driving me crazy.
Okay,
oh
so
my god.
if anyone hasn't been watching our other series where we have mentioned that our part of America is on fire, our part of America is on fire. Colorado is full of burning. So there's a lot of smoke and ash in the air. It's not, for us right in the area we're in, super dangerous, but it is a super inconvenience. Both of us are having stuffy noses. There's, instructions, don't go outside more than you need to. People are passing around, house filter, like homemade house filter ideas, that kind of thing. The sky is made of haze. You cannot even see the horizon where we are.
Yes, it's
and
gone.
the sun, if you can see it, is this ball of orange and nothing else.
Yep.
Like so intensely covered that it's just a dull, dark orange.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, actually.
It's an experience. So when we mention smoke, we're just talking about, wildfires.
Yes, absolutely. And I know I didn't sneeze, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it kind of hurts past the point, because it's like it's sort of dry.
All right, face and hands.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. Like, oh my god, I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes. We really haven't gotten anywhere.
She
really
did.
Literally, I've been keeping track on the clock on the wall, and I am going insane.
She stood there.
Please.
4 or 5 solid, quiet minutes, just staring at. She said, "Hold on," and then she just stood there and nothing.
Kind of processing. The loading screen
The little
came
loading,
up.
I was gonna say the little loading circle just came up on her head and was just her thinking.
Just a little brain going.
I suddenly just want to make a little graphic of her, like this, but with just the little loading circle just going and going.
Okay.
It's just a little gif.
God, it might take a while for Yuri to get used to new people.
I assume.
I'm going to pee because out of fury, I just want it to end. It's called Peeing Fury. And I got it from a game. And it was really good, and it has a dog in it.
Is it called Golden Fury?
Golden Fury? That might be what it is. Oh, I want gold.
All right.
I want it all over me. Paint me in gold.
Opulence.
It would be very important. Look, it's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Please, for the love of God, pay attention. Hello?
Since you have said almost nothing at all, let's pretend like you said something. What were you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. This is my hobby!
I was going to say,
yes! I feel her so hard. So it's that thing, I've mentioned it in several Let's Plays. I have a hobby of trying to peg new writers by just picking up books in the newly released section. Mm-hmm. So I will go to the new release section of either libraries or bookstores, not so much in the pandemic, but I used to a lot. I'll say, and then you pick them up with knowing nothing about the author, nothing about any of them, and from the first few pages you try and peg whether this is a first-time writer or not, whether this is their very first book or not. And I have a pretty good success rate on it because there are these key markers of how people write stories oftentimes when they're a brand new writer. And it doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but it is a distinctive thing, like how they describe their characters, whether or not they fixate on the character's look a lot, whether there's a scene where the character describes themselves as the mirror. These kinds of things are new writer things if they're right in the beginning of the book. And it's like they're following this template from other writers. And they might have an amazing story, but you still have these key markers of, I'm following scripted plot, and this is when the mentor will appear, and this is when the conflict happens, and this is when you find, this is when you find a
transformative event, yes.
Yeah, that kind of thing. All right.
Yeah,
anyway.
Great.
And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them.
Hey, do you write a lot? I don't remember. I don't know if I care, but go ahead.
I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. It's like they're planning everything, and it feels really structured and
very
specific.
Obvious.
So like it's not inspired and easy. Like you can see the work happening. That thing where good writers seem like they're doing it effortlessly without even thinking about what they're doing, and the words just vomit onto the page with perfection on the first draft. That it doesn't look
Neil Gaiman like somewhere crying.
Going, oh my God, that's not how it works. But yes,
all.
I know people have this mythos.
That's not how that works at all.
And people just have this mythos where they think that's how it goes, and it's not
true.
Tomato.
Oh yes, tomato.
Okay. And it's very deliberate.
Aye.
In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter. There's tonal dissonance between the way they write it and what they're covering, and they form fit the two together because they can't keep track of all the different pieces of the medium that they're trying to command.
Right.
The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. So I'm not saying you have a bad poem, I'm just saying it's weak.
Okay, if there's anything weak about me, it's the fact that I am struggling to keep up with you. What? I'm sorry, honey. The fact that I am wasting my time on you is weak. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Were we stammering? Does she normally stammer? Is that what the pauses are?
Oh, it actually was a character thing? I just thought it was usual anime waifu bullshit. Okay,
I hesitate.
I'm like, that's actually interesting. So, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in regards to when people make characters, the thing that has always bothered me is where they just go, yep, stammering is just a universal thing that everybody does. And it's like, there's a lot of things, actually, like a lot of key indicators, a lot of things that really do point out that for some people, they really do stammer a lot. I stammer sometimes. I know my friend sometimes stammers. Because you're usually just talking. You know?
You're trying to sometimes you're trying to catch your train of thought, basically. Sort of like there.
So, but the thing that is killing me is going like, when they actually point it out in a story, and I'm like, oh, is that actually a character trait? I had no idea, because, as I said, a lot of people stammer.
That's just how you were writing them. And the thing is for me, I'm going, okay, if that's a character trait, it sounds like everyone has been stammering around Splat. And going,
everybody.
Since we had no really reference for people not stammering, because Splat has never literally spoken to anyone but these 4 girls.
Right.
And there's no one else in existence except these 4 girls.
All anime girls stammer is also what
I was going to say, it's basically that every single girl just talks like that, so it isn't a distinctive character trait and it's not noticeable. And this kind of calls back to, for me, that experience where writers will sometimes have a character in a book 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 chapters and then finally say they have an accent or they have a distinctive lilt or their voice is nasally. And you're going, how would I have known that from the beginning of the book? And it doesn't mean they have to tell you.
No.
Like, writers don't have to, but if you're going to voice act the book, for sure, it's helpful to know.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. And you will now learn that I am a lit snob and that I, while trying not to judge you, am going to judge the shit out of you. But I will always maintain a soft deference and a very non-offensive persona and voice because that is appropriate femininity as a woman should always maintain. Now, just finding them and building them. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It's really important that your poem works as a team. So I'm just going to coach you real quick on what you should do and what you should know, and assume that you're going to care about all of my information and that you do want to improve in your craft. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, which I assume you will be doing, otherwise your poetry will stay bad, and learning by example and trying new things, which I'm also going to assume you will do.
Okay, you know what I love as a critique of characters sometimes? Is going like, you guys, it doesn't even matter if they're experts. The fact that they have a weird speech just lined up for the audience is weird. This is a high school student. Even a lot of adults who are subject matter experts, as it were, really don't have a speech in place. They have a series of ideas and they know what they're talking about and they know how to bullshit effectively. But most of them really do not have the ability to just sit there and go, I'm gonna rattle off beginning to end, start, middle, and here's my perfect ending that rounds everything back together and returns to the original point, and you can understand it clearly and concisely. Like, I've always thought it was really funny in terms of writing when somebody actually pointed that out, of going, it's strange actually how many people basically in stories give speeches. Like, very profound, very emotionally moving,
very organized
and you're
speeches.
like, that is not people, and it feels very unnatural when you actually sit there and you, especially when you say it out loud, you go, wow, you just suddenly, this is also where I go, see, fiction is definitely not reality, because somebody really had to go into constructing that entire, fiasco that was that like bona fide experience of suddenly I'm up on the pulpit and I'm doing this thing and you're like, whoa, they're in the middle of a McDonald's, what the crap is going on?
And it is like public speaking or just organizing yourself into like speeches when you are speaking is a skill. And the whole thing where everybody's just like, yeah, people just go off on these deep expositional things. Like, I have tried in my life a lot of times to get the people to explain things to me. Having grown up with, learning disabilities and challenges in school and stuff, there's been a lot of experience of me going, hey, please explain this to me. And your average person, even if they want to explain it to you, they are your friend, they are a family member that cares about you and is sympathetic to your position and wants to help you, does not have a pre-organized speech lined up, and they very hard time explaining all of their thoughts and all of their feelings, especially in a cohesive way. And I've actually pissed off a lot of people trying to friend me when I go, oh, that thing you're explaining to me, I know nothing about it. Can you elaborate? And then they tell me a little bit more, and so I ask questions about it, and they cannot literally answer those questions because they've never thought about it, or they just don't have the words. It's a feeling instead of words.
Right, because they've basically gotten so involved in the fandom sort of experience, they've forgotten to basically critically examine the very thing that they're just accepting. Right.
Anyway, so that. All right, and so are we going to try new things in the next one?
Yes, we're going to have to try the new things in the next one. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. I've got some links in the description down below.
Yep.
Also, no pressure, but if you also wish to support us, there is another thing you can do, which you can share our videos.
Yay.
If you had a good time, please feel free. Other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!